Buckle up because those summer vacations are taking off. Everyone wants to have the perfect trip, but life's little challenges can take those adventures in unexpected directions. Nancy McGee is a professor in the Hospitality and Tourism Management Department, and she's here with tips to help plan that summer trip. I'm very excited about this conversation because it has all different ways to think about adventuring this summer. So thanks for being here.
My pleasure, Kate.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the importance of spending frugally. I know a lot of people want to stretch their dollar. You have some really great ideas that go beyond the plan ahead, things that we talk about all the time, to make those adventures fun but also cost effective.
Absolutely. And yes, planning is super important. It's a great point to make. But since we're at the end of the summer, we're kind of beyond planning and looking at other ways. And one of those ways is through flexibility. You might have your heart set on a certain location, but then you get online and it's crazy expensive. I recommend looking at places that are adjacent. Maybe you have that Italian dream of making that kind of a vacation. Slovenia is right next door, less expensive and equally beautiful, great food, and another option for you. I also think in terms of flexibility, in terms of day of the week. If you can travel midweek, it's less expensive. It's also, as we know, on the interstate, it's less expensive and less stressful to drive midweek, and so that's another recommendation. And finally, time of year. A lot of us are constrained by school schedules or by our work schedules, but if you can scoot your vacation into early fall, you'll find, one, the weather's probably better, as we just learned from the weather report, and it's less crowded and less busy, so that's another way to take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's great pieces of advice. I also like something else that we were talking about earlier. You know, we have these dreams of maybe going overseas, exploring all these different ways, but if we're looking for adventure locally, there's a lot to be offered, and it can sometimes be a little bit better on that wallet as well. Talk to us about some of the tips that you would suggest when we're maybe thinking about those staycations.
Yes. Absolutely, Kate. I'm really glad you asked that question because I love to travel locally. We're really kind of spoiled. We kind of live in paradise, even with these warmer temperatures. We have so many wonderful destinations, places like Natural Bridge. I think we're a half day away from at least 4 national parks.
Wow.
So there are a lot of things that we can do that are close by. Another big plus there is it's less transportation cost, as well as you get there and you're not jet lagged, you're not vibrating from that 7 or 9 hour car drive, and you can relax more quickly. Mm-hmm. Worst case, I know we did a trip very close to home at Claytor Lake, and it was only 45 minutes, and if you forget something, you can always run back home and get it.
Good point. Yeah, you don't have to worry about spending extra at a dollar store or anything. You can just say, okay, we'll turn the car around, add a couple extra minutes.
Absolutely.
You were saying there's several apps too for people to maybe explore when they're planning their vacations to get a unique experience in. What are some of those suggestions?
I have a couple favorites. One is Viator, it's Viator, and the other is, of course, Airbnb Experiences. And I've used those extensively. They're a great way to explore a destination with someone local and get the view, through their eyes of a local spot. A couple years ago, my daughter and I were in Paris, and we did a bike tour with a guide who happened to be a college student. I love me some college students.
Yes.
And he was a history major at the Sorbonne. So he had a passion and a love for Paris. We were helping a college student, and it wasn't very expensive at all.
And you get that inside scoop too from a nearby tour guide. I have one last thing to talk about it because there is a big kind of push for AI right now, and you're saying artificial intelligence might be able to be a good jumping off point for some of these itineraries when we're traveling.
Yes, Kate, it's a jumping off point. It's a starting place. And I absolutely think it's great for an idea generator, but you really need to fact check. Go to your travel websites, for example, a visit website like Visit Roanoke, to double check both whether places exist or whether they are still open, and distances. Sometimes AI can make it a little closer, a little farther away, and so I absolutely recommend you do that. And also take a look at individual websites of destinations and either hotels or attractions to make sure you don't have a Wally World experience where you roll up and it's closed. And so I think that's really important too.
Oh, I love that. So many great things. I have so many more things I want to talk about with you, but we're out of time. So Nancy, I appreciate it. And hopefully this helps people plan that fun this summer. So thank you for all the information.
Thank you. I hope so too.
All right. Well,